Hello fellow New Worlders, I hope you're all doing crispy fine. This video will be about an Amazon Game Studio dev post and upcoming maintenance, which I must say gave me some much needed hope and healthy hype for the short-term future of this game. And this is why I decided to make this video to express myself a little bit about it. So without further ado, let's crack into it. Okay, so before we get started, just to make one thing clear, I'm not going to go into details about everything they said. I'm just going to go into the interesting parts and give maybe some opinions while doing so. If you want to read the whole thing, I'll leave it down in the description. You should go read it. It gives you a good insight into what is the near future of the game. This says nothing new. This part is probably the most important part, the most interesting part of the whole post. It's about open world PvP, which was from the beginning one of my biggest concerns, because I am a hardcore PvPer, or at least I consider myself more or less a hardcore PvPer. I love fighting, I love everything around it, and I felt there was no real incentive or a good reason to actually flag up and go out flagged. And even though I was doing it all the time for my personal thrills, there was no real reason to do it. Anyways, they said that during leveling, the 10% XP bonus difference and the reward for PvP kills are meaningful. I do not agree with it. I was flagged up all the time. I did not feel the difference. At the end game, however, the reward flagging are not good. Yes, at the end it's even worse. It's garbage. You get nothing from flagging. Nothing. There's no reason to go out and flag. So the fix they're implementing here is they're gonna increase the luck of player when flagged. This is amazing. I love this idea. This is perfect. This is exactly what is needed. However, this next part is gonna be a little more controversial to me, because second, we are going to reduce the durability damage to gear when flagged. How I understand it is when you die, your gear takes less damage. At least that's how I understand it. Which makes no sense. High risk always comes with high reward, and a high reward always comes at a higher risk. And here, they're doing something, they're reducing the risk and upping the reward. So there's no real risk of flagging, there's only reward. At this point, why not just make some territories flagged only? Make Shattered Mountain flagged only. You want to enter Shattered Mountain, you have to be flagged. You have to fight everyone. Hey, had to hop in here. I just noticed I didn't manage to get my point across in this part at all. What I was trying to say is, if you take away the risk in PvP fights, you will make PvP fights way less meaningful, since you don't lose anything by dying. And you then create an opportunity for trollers and griefers to abuse this. And yeah, that's basically it. So I'm hopping back out. So no, I don't agree with that part, but I do like the general idea. I think it goes in the right direction. I'm very happy for it. I am pumped for it. Here they start talking about how they kind of want to implement quality of life changes. They want to make it easier for you to see other people that are flagged up as well. And they're thinking about making some visual indication if your if it's your teammate's spell or your enemy's spell. And I, again, not completely agree with that. I like the fact that I'll be able to see who from my faction is flagged and who is not. However, I do not think I need a visual indication on if this is a friendly ice storm or if it's an enemy ice storm, because that takes away depth of your combat, of your group combat. If I'm running with randoms, I shouldn't know if it's my friend's ice storm or my enemy's ice storm, except if I saw it myself, if I saw him casting it. And if I run as a group, then you should organize to a point where your mage says, okay, I'm casting ice storm now, this is my ice storm, so that the people on their team know they can go through that ice storm. I think this is adding this to the game would make it lose a lot of group combat depth. Then they start talking about war. They say that in the next patch, the majority or the major issues should be resolved. I'll see that when it happens. I hope it's true, but with all the issues they had, I kind of have my doubt that they resolved the most important ones. And then they go on talking about how the war cadence at the moment is creating a war fatigue from the factions. They also say that they don't want to reduce or effectively augment the war cooldown, because they like the cadence of having regular wars, like every 2 days, 1 war per territory. Is a good war cadence. It brings more dynamic into the world, which I agree. But the war fatigue, I think, comes from companies feeling the necessity of having their people in the war. Because organizing a war with randoms is hell on earth. And organizing that every 2 days is just the perfect way to burn out your player base, especially your guild leaders. Organizing a war as a guild leaders with people that aren't from your company, that aren't in your voice chat, is absolute hell. So everyone is trying to stick to their own company and their allies, but the problem with that is that all the solo players get no action at all in wars, which I guess is a double-edged sword. In the end, it is an MMORPG. It is about community and building friendship, etc. So we'll see about that. But they're looking forward, they're keeping an eye on it, and it is a good sign. They're telling us they know, and they're keeping an eye on it. And this is the part I like. We know that communication and coordination in war is not optimal at the moment. It's hard to know what roles participants in wars have chosen, so it makes coordination difficult. We will begin investigating ways to addressing these issues, but don't have anything planned in the near term. This part here will effectively reduce war fatigue from factions. Because every war would be slightly more organized. You could just pick people depending on your needs. So I think war fatigue and this kinda hangs together. And then they start rambling about territory control. Again, a huge chunk of text just to tell us they're keeping a close eye on faction balance, and that they will take measures if this gets out of control. They then go on talking about territories. This is another pretty interesting one. They say they might implement changes to balance out tax income, because as we all know, Everfall, Brightwood and Windsworth, cities in the middle, they get the most taxes. Everyone goes there, everyone sells there. They're the ones running the economy, and the towns around them basically are dying and the companies have to pay out of their own pocket to even be able to upgrade anything and pay the taxes and so on. So it's not worth owning a city except if you own one of the 3 main ones. And the last part, thank God for that. In the last part, they're talking about changing all the PvP missions, the faction missions and so on. And please just get rid of that shit, bro. It's so annoying. I don't want to go fucking kill 3 goats on the other side of that mountain. Just fuck off. Give me something interesting. PvP faction missions. Make them about PvP, not about fucking cutting trees. Anyways, they're changing that. They're adding some stuff. We don't know anything more about it, but this is definitely needed, and I'm very happy about this. Now to the next dev post, which is basically just a downtime announcer, and amazing news. They're bringing back player trading and trading posts and all wealth transfer features with it. What does make me slightly scared is they didn't say anywhere that they actually fixed anything. So I hope the 3 hours downtime will include fixing shit and not just re-enabling it for everyone and have fun duplicating everything you want. I don't think so. I think they have some kind of patch, fix, whatever it is, to keep this gold duplication shenanigans in check. And it's amazing news. It's amazing news. It will actually bring back normality to the game. So I hope you enjoyed listening to my take on all this. And if you didn't know all this before my video, I am very happy to be the bringer of this good news. I also have 2 pretty interesting New World videos coming up. I would hate for you to miss those, so maybe consider subscribing, and I hope to see you next time. Peace!